Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide and another edition of Q&A. Same location as the previous time. Obviously, I'm recording two episodes at the same time on the same place, but we are in this episode again still here at Nurefjell, Peak Högevart, 1,460 meters or something like that. Lovely day. You gotta enjoy that when you're far up north. So yeah, it's pretty awesome here. All right, so let's get cracking on those questions. What would be the probability of Apple buying Remarkable in the nearest future? Honestly, I really don't know. But if you were to ask me, like, what is the actual history of Apple actually buying any company, acquiring them, and then just continuing on like Google does? I'm not a huge Apple follower or anything like that, so maybe I'm, misinformed, but the little stuff that I've followed and heard, my impression at least of Apple is that they're doing the exact opposite. They don't want to do that. They pay close attention to what the competition is doing, and then they develop their own technology so that it can innovate, surpass, or offer something slightly competitive but slightly different. So in my opinion, if Apple wanted to take a bite of the e-ink world and marketplace, I really don't think that they would need to acquire anyone, because they have the brand, have the technological know-how, they got money. So I really don't see why would they actually do that. Hey Voya, what are the chances you planning to look at Pocketbook EO? It seems like a good option for someone who likes the Note Air 3C but has security concerns with Boox. No, I probably won't be looking at Pocketbook devices, and I've addressed that before. I think that they are good devices, but it's a very locked down ecosystem. The operating system is really slow and really limited, and as such it's not really something that it can do certain things well, but only a handful of things it can do well, and it doesn't really compare to what Note Air 3C can actually do. I'm a little bit tired of Kaleido 3 tech. It's too dim, so you're forced to use front light. What's the point of e-ink anymore? Kaleido is a dead-end technology, and I made several videos about that, and I explained my attitude why I think that Kaleido is a dead-end technology. However, it's racking in a lot of money, it's selling well, it's really easy to market, it's really easy to sell to people, and it's really easy to rack up a premium price for a device that has Kaleido 3 tech. So yeah, I get it why you're getting tired of it. Thank you for this guide. I'm actually in between the Go 10.3 or Supernote A5X2 when it releases. What do you think in terms of specs and similarity with the Nomad? If you could make a separate video of showing the Go 10.3 performing with the Kindle and mangas, that would be awesome. Thanks, Voya. Well, if you look at my Go 10.3 in-depth review, I've already done that. So I've covered manga in Kindle. So all of that is kind of right there. So that's already done. So no need to actually make a separate video for that. As for between the similarity of specs between A5X and the A6X2, well, the only difference really that the A5X2 would have to do is kind of push more pixels, but honestly it's just like doing UI, UX stuff, so it's not doing any real-time rendering or anything really taxing, and the CPU that it has is more than capable to kind of not get bogged down with the resolution of the screen actually pushing that, which is kind of true with an exception would be, I guess, Atelier, which is the drawing app on the Supernote. So there, if you start pushing things further, I think that maybe we would get to see the A5X2 struggle, but in reality, A5X and the A6X, not the 2 but the previous gen, they also had exact same specs, and always, for some reason, A5X ran faster and smoother than the A6X. So go figure. So we'll see if the same trend kind of continues, but I honestly don't think that there's going to be like a big difference between the two. Obsidian app is becoming a must to have in note-taking device. Ultra C Pro can work with this app, no other can. Dude, so many questionable things like that you're stating as absolute, and they are simply all not true. So first, Obsidian app is becoming a must to have in note-taking device. How do you know that? Is that just you, or your impression, or your opinion, or what is that statement based on? Ultra C Pro can work with this app. True. No other can. Not true. Every other Boox can do that. That's updated to the latest OS. Thank you for the review. What would you suggest as a reading device between the Note Air 3C or the Go 10.3? Well, I would always go with the Go 10.3. But you have to keep in mind that the Go 10.3 doesn't have a front light and it's black and white, right? And the Note Air 3C is color and it does have a front light. So if your priority is color, then obviously you have to go with the Note Air 3C. If you want to be able to use the device in any lighting conditions and you don't want to use a clip-on light, then obviously you have to go with the Note Air 3C. But for pure reading pleasure, performance and image quality, Go 10.3 even now is one of, if not the best device out on the market currently. It definitely has better image quality than the Kindle Scribe even, which was the one holding the title before. Go 10.3 is just a really, really lovely device to read anything on. I know that you recorded this 3 years ago, but I'm new to Boox last week. I'm searching your amazing content. May I ask if you have ever covered how to get ebooks onto Boox and the best way to go about it? After watching your review, I've just purchased a Go 10.3. Thanks. Well, since you've actually watched that whole video, that's basically where I covered that exact thing, the library, how to get with the library, etc., etc. Another video that you may want to check out is the me using the auto sync option. So the thing is that I prefer to use the auto sync app. I think it's even called Google Sync or G Drive Sync or Auto Sync. And that one allows me to synchronize a Google Drive folder with a physical folder on my Boox device. And then any content, any changes, and I can set it up to be one-way, two-way. And if I set it up to be two-way, that means that any changes that I make on my Boox device will be reflected with the Google Drive folder, and any changes that I make in the Google Drive folder will automatically be synchronized and reflected in the synchronized folder on the Boox device. And that's what I currently use. But you don't necessarily have to use that anymore, because if you want to use Boox's account, then you have Boox account synchronization as well, and they allow synchronization of handwriting as well, and annotations in documents, which is a really, really handy feature, which is something that you don't get with third-party apps. So I would recommend actually reading the user manual and getting yourself acquainted with the Boox synchronization of the documents, because that one is the most complete one. It's a little bit convoluted, but you'll find some of that content on my channel as well. So that's basically where to start from. But if you are against having a Boox account and using a Boox account, which is perfectly fine, then you do have these alternatives such as third-party apps for synchronization of folders on Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, any of that. You can make that kind of synchronization. That's honestly what I prefer to use. Totally agree with your comments about margins in regards to the Remarkable. So far, they have totally wasted their Type Folio accessory. It needs to work like a true text editing device. I almost never use mine. What a waste of a great product. Unfortunately, I fully agree, because the product is absolutely great, and the design of it and just the mechanics of it, how it opens and how it folds, absolutely gorgeous and executed in an excellent way. But here we are like a year and a half into its existence, and it's still, is it a year and a half or is it a half a year? I don't even know anymore. I'm kind of lost in space here. But here we are sometime into the lifetime of the Type Folio, and it's just not utilized to any of its potential, and that's just a sad thing to see, because it could be so much more, and but it's not. Hi Voya, appreciate the update on Remarkable 2. Any chance you're looking at the Pocketbook EO anytime soon? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I picked a duplicate here, but let me just short summary. No, I'm not going to be covering Pocketbook devices because they are limited, the audience for them is limited, and that's about it. This is in regards to the Remarkable typing, and it says, I just want a word count. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. I mean, I fully agree. One would think that if you have a typing tool, like an accessory that's dedicated to typing, that you would get basics of a word processing tool, or at least a word count, or some of the basics, but apparently, yeah, that's too much to ask, unfortunately. Alright, that's it from me for this edition of Q&A, and I'm gonna be packing up the gear and either going home or maybe visiting another peak. I don't know, it's always a dilemma. Maybe I do that, I don't know, we'll see. But either way, that's it for this video, and I hope that you found it enjoyable, that you found the setting enjoyable, and that you found the video and answers and questions useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and as usual, if you have more questions, please do post them below as comments to this video, because that makes it a lot easier for me to collate them and have them for the next edition of the Q&A. All right, that's it from me. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you next video. Bye.